Hey everybody, I think we are live here, so do me a favor and if you can hear me, then give me a 1 in the chat. And if you can see my screen, which should be a picture of me giving a goofy smile and saying how to start your own 5K month marketing side hustle in the next 30 days, if you can see that, give me a 2 in the chat. And there is a little bit of a lag between when I say something and when you hear it. So this is really live, and I am looking at your comments, and we'll do some Q&A at the end if you have any questions. Then, and I'll probably ask you some questions along the way just to keep it a little bit conversational, and so it's not like I'm just talking to myself the whole time, because then I feel weird. So, welcome everybody. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Looks like everybody can hear me. Everybody can see my screen. Thank you guys. And so actually, let me give it just a minute for the few folks that are running a little bit late. Let me know in the chat, what do you guys do for work? Do you work in marketing, or you work in something else and you like to get into marketing, or maybe you have a business and you'd like to learn this for your own business? I'm curious where everybody's coming from. And thank you, by the way, to everybody that filled out my survey, because that gives me some clue at that as well. Good at getting doors open, Daniel says. I'll get started in like 1 or 2 minutes here. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started. I think it's lagging more than usual. Feel free to let me know in the chat if there's anything like you can't hear something, or any tech issues, because that does come up sometimes. Anyway, what you are going to learn in this presentation, as you probably guessed, is how to start your own 5K a month marketing side hustle within the next 30 days, which is something that you can run in just a few hours a week. So first of all, let me tell you what this is all about. Have you ever heard of an SMMA? That is short for Social Media Marketing Agency. Well, this is not that, but it's similar in some ways. An SMMA is a business where you help companies get customers from social media, usually from Facebook ads. And it's actually a good business model. After all, what is the one thing that most small to medium businesses want more than anything else? That's right, more customers. Because more customers means more money for them. So naturally, being able to bring in customers to any business is a powerful skill to have. If you could bring in an extra, let's say 10K a month to your local dentist or nail salon, do you think they'd be willing to pay you $1,000 for your service? Of course they would, because they're keeping $9,000 and only paying you $1,000. Not a bad deal. And if you want to make 5K a month, all you need to do is get 5 clients, which is really not a lot. And most business owners don't do it themselves because they don't know how, and they're too busy to learn it for themselves. So being able to bring in customers to businesses is a super valuable skill, probably the most valuable skill, because unlike coding or accounting or graphic design or even AI, what you're doing is basically printing money for the business. But here's the problem with SMMA. Everyone is doing it. If you can see here, look at this group. This is just a search I did on Facebook, looking at different groups of SMMA. This one, 17,000 members. This one, 11,000 members. This one, 8.9 thousand, 12,000, 26,000, 10,000 members. Like, between all of those, that's like 60,000 people that are all doing the same darn thing. So business owners are getting spammed with messages every single day from people with SMMAs that are all offering to run Facebook ads for them. And so what do? Well, they tune it out. They don't respond because they've heard exactly the same pitch too many times from too many people. If they were open to working with an SMMA, they probably already got one a long time ago and they don't need another one. So the people who started the first SMMAs got clients easily and made tons of money. But now the people that are trying to start SMMAs are getting the cold shoulder. So it begs the question, is this business model dead? Well, not exactly. Have you ever heard this quote? When they zig, you zag. Apparently it's a title of a book. I didn't realize that. I thought it was just a saying that you say in marketing. Basically, you got to do something new and different than what everyone else is doing. Something that makes you stand out. It's not the same tired old pitch that all the business owners have already heard before. So, this is where YouTube ads come in. See, Facebook ads, SMMAs, are saturated. There's too many people doing them. But almost nobody is offering YouTube ads as a service to businesses. Which is crazy, because YouTube ads are actually far better than Facebook ads for a few reasons. The most important reason is that YouTube is owned by Google, and Google knows people's intent. That is, they know what everybody is looking for at all times. Think about it. Google knows what everybody is searching for in the Google search engine. They know what videos everyone is watching on YouTube. They know what websites everyone is looking at in the Google Chrome browser. They know what emails everyone is reading in Gmail. They even know where everyone is driving because they own the most used GPS. Google knows more about its users than any other company in the history of the world. So for you as an advertiser, that is super powerful. Why? Because you can laser target exactly who sees your message or your client's message. You can literally put your ad in front of the people who are already looking to buy your product at this very moment, or looking to buy your client's product if you're doing it for a client. Imagine what you can do with that power. And yet, the vast majority of business owners have no idea where to even start. So this is a massive opportunity for those who jump on it now, because this will become saturated too. But by getting in early, you get what's called the first mover advantage, like the people who started an SMMA in 2015, or the people who invested in Bitcoin in 2017, or bought Tesla stock in 2020. Timing is everything, and right now it's still early. Now that's where you come in. This is not only an amazing opportunity to make money, but also an opportunity to do a lot of good for small businesses and make a real difference in people's lives. If you have this skill, not only will you have the ability to charge other businesses for this service, but you'll also have a skill that will allow you to be successful at any business you ever decide to start on your own. When you have the ability to drive leads and customers into a business, that means you can be successful in whatever business you ever decide to start. That's a big deal. Okay, now you may be wondering, who the heck are you anyway, and why should I listen to you? So I'll go over who I am just super quick. My name is Chris Shoup. I am the founder of Dominate Marketing, co-author of the book, The Magic of Compound Business Growth with Myron Golden. I have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars of my own money on YouTube ads. I've built 2 six-figure businesses on the back of YouTube ads, and I've generated over 35,000 leads for myself and my clients using YouTube ads. Now here's how this whole thing came about. Back in 2018, I was working as a data analyst for a big corporation. That's me at the time, looking not particularly happy. It was a pretty nice job as jobs go. I was making $85K a year with benefits, which back like pre-2020, 2021, that was a lot of money. And a few weeks paid vacation every year. So I was doing pretty well, but the problem was I wanted more. I was tired of doing the same thing day in and day out, tired of trading my time for money with a cap on my income, and the only way to really make the kind of money I wanted was to climb the corporate ladder. In other words, become a middle manager and spend 60 hours a week going to meetings. No, thank you. Not my idea of fun. I wanted to make money and enjoy it. I wanted to do something fulfilling. something I could be proud of. And I wanted freedom. Freedom to choose my own schedule, to work when I wanted and take off when I wanted. And freedom to travel instead of being stuck going to the same dingy office every day. The only problem was, I had no idea what I wanted to do instead. I had a vague idea that I wanted to have my own business, but I didn't know what business. I really didn't have a plan. But I thought, if I could just get out of this job and get my time back, then I can figure it out. So I saved a bit of money, and then in October of 2018, I quit my job cold turkey, with nothing to fall back on except my little bit of savings. And then I tried everything. I tried to start an SMMA. I tried affiliate marketing. I tried drop shipping. I tried selling ebooks. I made a few bucks here and there, but none of it ever came close to replacing the income that I was making at my job. But I kept at it. I spent more than $10,000 on courses and coaching. By September of 2020, I had taken on $70,000 in debt, not including mortgage, car, student loans. This is just like high interest credit card debt. I had just about maxed out all my credit cards. I was living as cheap as I could, trying to put off having to go back and get a job. But then something happened. I had an idea. In the past, I had done a little bit of freelancing as a data analyst. And I thought, what if I teach other people what if I teach other people how to get freelance data clients? And so I threw together a course outline and a presentation, ran a very simple YouTube ad to tell people about the presentation, got 50 people to show up on a live Zoom call, and that night I made $4,990 in sales. That is more than I'd ever made in a week, much less in a day. And the cool thing is I only paid about $400 for the ads. So with the power of YouTube ads, I turned $400 into almost $5,000. That's more than a 12x return. I kept the ads going and ran the same presentation a few more times and ended up making $28,000 that month. And Ashlyn says she remembers that offer. You must have been following me for a long time. That was 5 years ago, or 4.5. So this was more than I'd ever made in 1 month in my entire life. I got some cool little prizes for making money from ads. And while I was obviously super excited, it also freaked me out. To go from being dead broke and losing money month after month for almost 2 years straight to suddenly I was making more than the average doctor overnight. It's a huge shock to the system, one that I was not mentally prepared for at all. I mean, don't get me wrong, I thoroughly enjoyed being rich all of a sudden. I paid off all my debt, I bought a new car, and that's my wife and our dog in the car. Moved to a nice house on a lake. I visited some cool places, bought a boat, went out for lobster dinners at high-end restaurants. And it wasn't only doing cool things for myself and my family, but now I could finally support the causes and charities and people that I want to help. I remember the first time I gave a big check to one group that had already known me for a while. They saw my check and pulled me aside and asked me if it was real. Like, it was so much more than usual, they thought it must be a mistake. But finally having money was great, but instead of doing the obvious thing, which, keep going, instead I took my foot off the gas. I started changing my prices and my sales process, and basically sabotaged myself. Eventually, I quit that business completely and started a new offer, this time teaching people how to get a job as a data analyst instead of getting freelance clients as a data analyst. But again, I was using YouTube ads to get customers, and again, it worked great. I made nearly $30,000 the first month, yet again, this time split between two payment processors there, thus the two screenshots. And I kept that business going for several years, but then something happened that I couldn't get over. One of my best students in the data analyst program got offered a job. It was a nice job, paid $70,000 a year to start, hybrid with benefits, which for him, coming from some low-level manufacturing job, it was amazing. But before he could accept the job, they asked him this one question: did you get the COVID vaccine? He said no, and they wouldn't give him the job. This was the email he sent me to tell me about it. They denied him the job because he didn't have the vaccine. He was heartbroken, and so was I. Because he did everything right. He followed all my directions to the T, he worked really hard, and he darn well deserved to get that job. I was angry. And look, I don't care, for you guys listening, I don't care if you got the vaccine or you didn't get the vaccine. I don't care if you believe in it or if you don't believe in it. That's your personal healthcare decision, and it's none of my business. But I do care when all the biggest corporations are refusing to hire qualified people and even firing people because of their personal healthcare decisions. So I decided that I didn't want to support that system anymore. I didn't want to keep training people to work for these giant corporations that have so little regard for people's basic freedom and privacy. So I started thinking, what is the most valuable skill that I can offer that has nothing to do with getting people into corporate jobs? The obvious answer was YouTube ads. I had brought tons of leads and sales for my businesses using YouTube ads, and I had my method down to a science. I could easily apply my same method to other businesses. So I did. I started running YouTube ads targeting business owners, offering to run YouTube ads for them. Now I have businesses paying me every single week to install my YouTube ads system in their businesses. This is mostly passive income, because once I set up the ad campaigns, I just let them run by themselves. But I do have to tweak something or change an ad budget every once in a while, which is why I say mostly passive. It's not completely passive. Completely passive income, for the most part, doesn't exist, I think, unless you just have a whole bunch of money invested in the stock market and you're getting dividends. But otherwise, I mean, this is about as passive as you can get. So I can do all my client work in less than 5 hours a week. In this presentation, I'm going to show you my proven YouTube ads lead engine system, which is what I implement for my clients, and I'm going to show you how to get clients who will pay you to implement this system in their businesses. And if you already have a background in marketing, then you're already ahead of the game here. And if you're wondering, why would I teach you this? Aren't I just creating competition for myself? The answer is, this opportunity is so enormous that I'm just not worried about it. There are literally hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of businesses that could benefit massively from YouTube ads. If I took 0.001% of them as clients, I would be totally overwhelmed. Being in this business is like being an ant in a cherry pie. I'm just not worried about it. Okay, so who this presentation is for: anybody who wants to have your own full-time business that earns a top 5% income, plus gives you a high level of freedom and flexibility. This is for you. This is for you if you want a side gig for a few $1,000s extra income every month. Maybe you have a job and you like your job and you just like to make a little bit extra on the side. That's totally cool too. And this is also for you if you already have your own business and you want to harness the single best source of leads and customers on the planet. Now, who this presentation is not for: people who are looking to collect shiny objects. So you're going to do this one week and then you're going to do something else next week, and you're going to try running TikTok ads the week after that, and then you're going to start an AI agency the week after that, and whatever's just the shiny object, you keep on chasing that. If you do that, you're never going to be successful at any of those things. So you might as well not bother with this, because it's not going to work. You have to put some effort into it. Which brings me to the second point: this is not for people looking for a get-rich-quick scheme. I mean, you can get quite a lot of money from this, and you can do it a lot faster than other methods, but it's not like a magic bullet that you're just going to make $1 million overnight. This is a real business that you're going to have to put some effort in to build out. So if that's disagreeable to you, then this probably isn't the right thing for you. It's not for people that use dishonest or misleading methods, like you promise people something and then don't deliver it to them. There's too many people out there doing that, and I don't really want to contribute to that, because you're just going to make all of us look bad. And finally, it's not for people who are not willing to invest. Look, if you want to have a business that's successful, you're going to have to invest some effort, you're going to have to invest some money, you're going to have to invest some time. That's just goes with the territory. For anybody who is unable to accept that, then this just isn't going to work, and I'd rather just be honest with you up front rather than wasting your time. Okay, so here's what we're going to cover. Number 1, how to get leads for any business using YouTube ads. 2, how to get your first paying clients when you don't have any YouTube ads experience. And 3, how to have endless focus, motivation, and time to keep going until you get results. And I think that part might surprise you a little bit. It's going to be interesting. So anyway, let's start with part 1, the YouTube ads sales engine. So how many of you, by the way, found me from a YouTube ad? Give me a yes in the chat if you found out about me or you found this presentation through a YouTube ad. If so, then this process that I'm about to show you is going to probably sound fairly familiar to you. Ashlyn says yes. We Sell Places says yes. Richard says yes. Awesome. So the first part is your ads, and I always like to run multiple ads so you can try different things and see which one works better. All of your ads will have a call to action that says click the link to go to this page, which is called a landing page. It's a very simple web page where you just ask people to fill out their name and email address, and you'll give them something in return. That something you give them in return is called a lead magnet, and that's basically like the whole system. And then, well, except that once you have the lead, right, the person gives you their information, then you have to sell them on whatever your product is. So there's 4 steps here. Number 1, you run your YouTube ads to people who are looking for what your client has to offer, or what you have to offer if you're running it for yourself. 2, when they click on the ad, you send them to a landing page that offers them something cool for free in return for entering their email address and or phone number. 3, you give them the free thing, which is called a lead magnet. And 4, you send the person's contact info to your client so they can follow up and make the sale. That's it. Now there's 4 components. There's 4 pieces of this that you have to build out. Number 1 is the ad video or multiple ad videos. 2 is an ad audience. That's where you define exactly who is going to see your ad. 3 is the lead magnet. Again, that's the free thing that you're giving people. And 4 is the landing page. That's the page where you collect people's information. So let me go through each of those components in a little bit more detail here. Component number 1 is the ad video. So you've all seen YouTube ads before, so you know what they look like. Sounds like pretty much all you guys found me through a YouTube ad. So it's, yeah, like I just said, you found me through one of my YouTube ads. Basically, a YouTube ad video shows up before, after, or during a video that you're watching on YouTube. And after 5 seconds, you have the option to skip the ad video. This is what it looks like. You see how there's that skip ads button on the bottom here. Now this leads us to the first obstacle, getting people to watch your ad instead of skipping. So this is tricky because they don't want to watch your ad. Who here, give me a yes in the chat if you just look forward to YouTube ads interrupting your videos. Or give me a no in the chat if you're not a big fan, generally speaking. I'm not going to wait for your answers. I know everybody's answer is no, right? Nobody wants to watch your ad. In fact, your ad is interrupting them from the video that they actually wanted to watch. So how do you get around this, right? How do you get them to actually watch your video instead of skipping when you're interrupting them? The answer is by making your ad so interesting to them specifically that they forget about what they were going to watch and move their attention to your ad instead. So how do you do that? Well, there's a few ways, but one of the best and simplest ways is simply to call out the specific type of person that you want as a lead and tell them how you will help them get something that they already want. For example, here's the first line in one of my best ads. If you're a business owner and you're not running ads on YouTube, you're missing the single easiest way to get leads and customers in the history of the universe. So look what I'm doing. I'm calling out the kind of person I want. If you're a business owner, then I'm telling them how they can get something that they want. The easiest way to get leads and customers. And notice how I frame it in the negative. Instead of saying you could get leads from YouTube ads, I'm saying you are missing out on getting leads. Nobody wants to miss out, so this is a powerful attention grabber, right? And notice how I'm saying the same thing, just using different words. You could get leads, or if you don't do this, you're missing out on getting leads. It's the same thing, but I'm framing it in the negative because that tends to get people's attention better than framing it in the positive. Now, the first part of the ad is called the hook. Its job is to get the person interested enough in the ad to keep watching. I've found a lot of different kinds of hooks that work. This is just one example. Now, for the next part of the ad, you want to build the person's interest so that they are motivated enough to click on the ad. So here you talk about things like the benefits of what you offer, the pain of not having what you offer, the mechanism, that is the way the thing works that makes your system or your offer work. You could talk about success stories of people who have used your offer and had great results, etc. Basically, you're building two things, desire and trust. You're building the desire in the thing you have to offer, and you're building trust that it will actually work. Now, the final part of the ad is called a call to action, or CTA for short. This part is simple. You just tell them what to do next. Such as, click the button and sign up on the next page to get your coupon for 20% off. Really, those three parts, the hook, the value, and the call to action, are all you need to create an effective ad video. However, I want to let you in on a little secret. A fourth part that you can add that makes your ads perform even better. Here's the thing. Most people are slow to take action. Most people procrastinate. They might know that they want the thing. They might know that the thing will make their lives better, but still they won't do anything now. They'll tell themselves they'll do it sometime in the future, and more often than not, if they say they're going to do it in the future, they end up never doing it at all. Now, that's obviously a really terrible way to live your life and a surefire way to end up on your deathbed with a mountain of regrets of all the things that you didn't do because you said you'd get to them later. Like, it's seriously the biggest dream killer probably ever in history. But even so, it's how most people live their lives, which is probably why most people never get what they want out of life. So if you want to get somebody to take action, you have to give them a reason why they have to take action now instead of sometime in the future. With YouTube ads, that's really easy. All you have to do is say this at the end of your ad. You may never see this video again, so if you're interested, then now is your chance. I use that line in every video. Probably some of you guys have heard that before. It works because it's true. If you see a YouTube ad once, you never know if you're going to see it again. So this creates urgency that the person has to click now or else risk losing the opportunity forever. So that's part one. That's the ad itself, the ad video itself. Give me a yes in the chat if that makes sense, if you're following so far. Now, component number two is the ad audience. So once you, oops, I lost it. There it is. Once you have your ad video ready to go, you have to tell YouTube who to show it to. This is super important because even the best ad in the world won't do much good if you show it to the wrong people. For example, the ad I told you about before. I want to show that ad to business owners. If I show it to people who are not business owners, the ad won't work. Thankfully, YouTube Ads has the best targeting options of any ad platform in existence because, like we talked about, it's owned by Google, and Google knows what everybody is looking for all the time. So the ad platform has a bunch of built-in in-market audiences. What they call in-market audiences, which means people who are currently in the market for a particular product or service. People are looking for that product or service. So here are a few examples that just kind of came up in suggestions in mine. So like in-market biz loans. That means somebody who's currently looking for a business loan. This family business, I don't know what that is exactly. This in-market for real estate agents and homeowners. Or, yeah, so this is, oh no, this is in-market real estate, and then homeowners is a separate audience. So this is people that are looking for real estate agents. This last one, people who are looking for solar. Right? I can target exactly the people that are already looking for what my client has to offer. You can also target by affinity. That is, what kind of things is the person interested in? For example, if you sell Star Wars merchandise, you can target people who are interested in Star Wars. And then you can also target by location and demographics. So you can target people who live in a particular country, state, city, or zip code. You can target people within a certain age range who have kids or don't have kids. You can even target people by income level. And you can layer these targeting options on top of each other. So you could literally, if you wanted to, target people who live in Florida, are interested in Star Wars, are aged 25 to 50, who are in the top 30% of income earners, and are currently looking for home decor. Now, most of the time you're not going to get that specific, but can you see how powerful this is? Think about what happens when you match the targeting with the ad itself. Your ad says something like, hey, are you looking to decorate your Florida home? Look at these amazing Darth Vader lampshades, or whatever. It's a silly example, but you get the point. You know exactly who they are and what they want because that's what you set in your targeting, and your ad is offering exactly the thing that they want. It's like taking a test when you have the answer sheet right in front of you. So that's the audience. Component 3 is the lead magnet. This is something that you give people for free in return for giving you their contact info. This could be a free ebook, a free video, a free training, or a coupon. If you're running ads for a client, all you have to do is suggest the idea, and the client will create it for you. You just ask the question, what could the client give for free? Or if you're the business owner, what could you give for free that would be attractive to the kind of customer that they want? For me to get YouTube ads clients, for example, I give them a free guide to running YouTube ads. And in the free guide, I tell them how I run ads and then invite them to hire me to do it for them if they don't want to take the time to do it themselves. You could totally copy me, by the way, if you want. I wouldn't be mad at you. If your client sells Star Wars lampshades, your lead magnet could be a coupon for 10% off their first lampshade. The lead magnet doesn't have to be something super amazing. It just has to be something attractive enough to get them to give you their contact info. And from there, it's up to the client to do the selling. Now, finally, the last component is the landing page. A landing page is basically the world's simplest web page. It's just a headline with an opt-in form. Here's what mine looks like. See, it's a few lines of text and then an opt-in form. That's it. That's literally the whole page. It's really that simple. I use a tool called Kartra that lets me set up landing pages in minutes. It's drag and drop, no tech skills required, and it's chrisshoup.com/Kartra if you want to get a free trial. I like this software a lot, and if you go through my link, then I do get paid a little bit as I am an affiliate. And then you just tell Kartra to send an email with the lead magnet to everyone who fills out the form, right? It's all automated. Kartra can just send out the email with the lead magnet automatically. And that's it. That's the whole process. It's stupid easy compared to like learning sales or learning to code, but very few people ever do it because they don't have the step-by-step process that I just showed you. So can you see how powerful this is? Like, can you see how useful this is for just about any business? Give me a 3 in the chat if you can see how useful this would be. Okay, so that's the system. Now let's get into part 2, how to get your first paying clients when you don't have any YouTube ads experience. Is this something that's kind of crossed anybody's mind? Like, if you thought, okay, that's cool, I can learn this, but how do I get people to actually like pay me when I've never done it before? Is that something that anybody has been is kind of feeling iffy about? Well, if so, then this will be helpful for you. So, as you probably understand, it's hard to get someone to pay you for something that you never done before. So, here is the solution. You get experience before you ask anybody to pay you. There's 2 ways to do this. The first is just to run some ads that prove that it works. So, you find some business or product that you can generate leads for. If you know any business owners personally, you can just do it for one of them, or you can do it for an affiliate product. That's something where you get a special link to sell someone else's product and you get a percentage of the sale. Or you can even do it with no product at all. For example, just have ChatGPT write up a free lead magnet for you. For example, you type this into ChatGPT. You tell it, write an article on the best ways to add 50 pounds to your bench press. And there you go. Now you have an article that you can use as a lead magnet. Then put $50 on ads to that free lead magnet and generate a few leads. You don't have to do anything with the leads if you don't want. You're just proving that the system works. You're proving it to your future clients, and more importantly, you're proving it to yourself. Once you've proven that the system works, then it's time to find your first client. And by the way, if you are doing it for your own business, then none of this applies to you. You just run it for your own business. The easiest way to get a client is to make it as low risk for them as possible, because almost every business owner wants more leads. But they're also afraid to trust a stranger who might waste their time and or money. So you make it as low risk for them as you possibly can. The best way to do this is to charge them nothing up front. Instead, charge them at the end of the month, and only if they're happy with the service. So if you're getting them leads and customers, then they'll definitely pay you at the end of the month because they want you to continue bringing them leads and customers. But by not asking for any payment at all in the beginning, you're making it so that it's not a big risk for them, because if they don't get results, then you don't have to pay. And you're taking all the weight off your shoulders because you're presenting it as just a trial run, so you don't have to feel under a huge amount of pressure to perform. So basically, if it doesn't work, which is highly unlikely, then it's no big deal. It's no sweat. Now that said, there is still some risk to the client because it still takes a little bit of the person's time, and they may be spending money on ad costs depending on how you arrange it. But this way that I just told you is significantly less risk, which makes it much easier for them to say yes, and you can help reduce the risk of time and ad costs by explaining how the process works. That is, it's only a small ad cost at the beginning to prove that it works, and you take on all the heavy lifting, so it's very little effort on their part. Once they understand that, it's an easy sell. So can you see how this framing it in this way would make it much more likely for the person to say yes? It makes it much less risk for them. Give me a 5 in the chat if that makes sense. Okay, part 3, how to have endless focus, motivation, and time to keep going until you get results. And by the way, this works for everything. So no matter what you're doing, if you're trying to do this business, or you're trying to get in shape, or you're trying, like, whatever you want to do with your life, this will help you, I promise. The answer to having endless focus and motivation is hidden in plain sight. Deep down, you already know the answer, but I'm going to help you bring it to the surface. So let me ask you a few questions. How are you feeling right now? Excited, intrigued, motivated? I hope so. When was the last time you felt that way? Think about it. When was the last time you felt excited and intrigued and motivated? What were you thinking about at that time? Now, at some point, you lost that excited feeling. What happened? What were you thinking about then? What were you thinking about when you lost it? If you look at this for enough times, you're going to start to see a pattern. When you think about good things happening to you in the future, and when you have a viable path to create that better future for yourself, that's when the magic happens. That's when you feel motivated, energized. You can focus for hours without getting tired. But then what happens? Probably at some point your thoughts start to turn in the other direction. This is hard. This might not work. What if it doesn't work? What if everybody sees me fail and I make a total fool of myself? Those thoughts creep in, and all of a sudden your motivation evaporates. Your energy disappears. Probably you go sit on the couch, watch TV, and eat something that's not good for you. Suddenly you're too exhausted to do anything productive. Have you ever felt this way before? Let me know in the chat. Have you ever felt this way before? The key is your thoughts. What are you thinking about? Are you thinking about how amazing your life is going to be when you do the thing successfully, whatever that thing is? Or are you thinking about all the ways that it might not work and how terrible it's going to be if it fails? See, one of those thoughts gives you energy and motivation. The other one takes it away. And I think that's very interesting that energy comes from thoughts. You can literally give or rob energy from yourself just by the thoughts that you think. Now I want to share something a little crazy. A lot of people think that they can't get ahead in life because they don't have enough time. Maybe they have a job where they work long hours. Maybe they have a long commute and family responsibilities when they get home. A lot of people are in that situation. That's pretty normal. But here's the thing. The real problem is not time. The real problem is energy. And I'll prove it to you. Think about everything that you did yesterday, from waking up to going to bed. Can you find 30 minutes in there where you were doing something that you did not absolutely have to do? Like you were watching TV or scrolling on social media or playing video games. If you're not sure, look at your screen time. It's the app on your phone that shows you how much time you spent using each app. And if the honest answer is no, you didn't even have 30 minutes yesterday, which I doubt. I probably don't believe you if you say that. But if you didn't have 30 minutes yesterday, then think about for the past week. Was there at least one day during the entire week that you spent 30 minutes on something unnecessary? For just about everybody, the answer is yes. Now let's say you want to build something that will bring you financial freedom in the future, like your own business. Let's say that business takes a total of 50 hours of work to build. Well, if you have 5 hours a day to spare, you can have that business up and running in 10 days. If you have less time available, you can still build exactly the same business, it's just going to take longer. If you have 30 minutes a day, it'll take you 100 days. If you only have 15 minutes a day, only 15 minutes a day, it will take you 200 days, which is a little over 6 months. Not really that long in the grand scheme of things. And most of us could spare much more than 15 minutes a day if we're really honest with ourselves. The problem is not that you don't have time, because even a tiny bit of spare time is enough. The problem is more likely that you don't have the energy. You come home from work, exhausted, crash on the couch and put on Netflix, or scroll through Facebook or Instagram, or whatever you do, because those things don't take any energy. So for 99% of people, the true key to having more time is really to find a way to have more energy. And of course, the food you eat and your lifestyle and your sleep quality all plays into that. But the single best way to increase your energy fast is exactly what I was just talking about. The key to endless motivation and energy is this: discipline your thoughts. Consciously guide your thoughts to things that give you energy, and away from thoughts that steal your energy and your happiness and your dreams and everything that you want in your life. And when you're trying to achieve something and you run into obstacles, which you will, always, when you're trying to achieve something that will get you to a better place in life than you're currently at, you will run into obstacles, I promise you. Don't let yourself fall back to, oh, what if it doesn't work? Instead, tell yourself that you're going to keep going until it works. Here's the one thing that I told myself over and over and over again during the years before I figured out this business, when I was still struggling and losing money and going into debt. If I keep going, I keep adding to my skills, I keep trying new approaches and keep getting a little better every day, eventually I will be so good that I have to succeed. Anything else is impossible. If you truly believe that you will succeed, then staying focused and doing the work is easy. The way to build that belief is just by repeating thoughts of success. So belief is just a thought that you keep repeating. By shutting out thoughts of failure and viewing any difficulties along the way simply as stepping stones to success. It's what every high-achieving person throughout history has always done. If you learn to discipline your mind in this way, you will have world-class motivation, you will achieve your goals, you will get what you want in life, you will be a blessing and inspiration to everyone around you. It's impossible to be any other way. So here's what we've gone over so far. How to get leads for any business using YouTube ads. How to get your first paying clients when you don't have any YouTube ads experience. And how to have endless focus, motivation, and time to keep going until you get results. So let me ask you guys, has this been helpful? Does this make sense? Now, if it's all right with you, I have a program called Ad Masters where I take a few people and personally coach them to create this business, every part of the business, from scratch. And if you would like, I can tell you a little bit about that program. If you would be open to hearing that, give me a 6 in the chat. Cool, I see some 6s. So my goal, this program is called Ad Masters, and the goal is to guide you through every step of building a profitable YouTube ads business with a consistent system for getting clients in 8 weeks. So as Tony Robbins says, if you want to be successful, find someone who has achieved the results you want and copy what they do, and you'll achieve the same results, and a heck of a lot faster than trying to figure out everything on your own. So I've put together a complete program where I will walk you through the entire process of creating a thriving YouTube ads business completely from scratch. So here's what Ad Masters can do for you. Get you the most valuable skill in the marketplace, make it so you're able to drive customers to any business, pour rocket fuel on any business of your own that you ever decide to start in the future, create a massive income potential with pretty much no limit, make it so you can work from home, you can be your own boss, you can set your own schedule, you can work as much or as little as you want, or you can just have it as a side business while you keep your full-time job if that's what you're into. Now, the way I see it, there's 3 things that you need to be successful. Number 1 is a clear path. You need to know exactly what steps to take to get to the result. 2 is community and support. And 3 is copy and paste templates, workbooks, and examples for every part of the process, all of which are going to be included in Ad Masters. Now, there are 5 core components here. Phase 1, there's 3 components to the system. So phase 1 is the automated lead collection system. This is the system for running YouTube ads and the lead magnet and everything. I'm going to give you every step, every little detail of how to set that up. Phase 2 is the YouTube ads engine. So this is where you actually run your YouTube ads. And phase 3 is the client attraction machine. This is how you get clients to pay you for this service. So between these 3 phases are the core training, and then you're also going to get coaching. So this is live personal coaching with me, and the community, which is a private group which make up your support system. Now I'm going to go into each of those components in a little more detail here. So phase 1 is the automated lead collection system. Here you're going to learn how to create a landing page sequence that collects lead information, automatically send an email to everyone who opts in with your lead magnet, instantly send lead information to your client, right? So once you've got a lead that comes in, an automation that sends that lead's information to your client, and then an automation that sends follow-up emails to leads at any time. So that's phase 1, automated lead collection system. Phase 2 is the YouTube ads engine. So here you're going to learn the exact formula for writing compelling ad scripts that hook attention, generate interest, and get the click. I'm going to show you how to quickly and easily turn those ad scripts into videos. I'm going to show you how to run laser-targeted ad campaigns to exactly the people who are already looking to buy, like we talked about. And I'm going to show you how to track performance and double down on the best performing ad campaigns. That's way you're making decisions based on data, not just based on feelings. And then phase 3 is the client attraction machine. So I'm going to show you how to get business owners coming to you, wanting to pay you for your services. I'm going to show you how to structure your offer so it's an easy yes. I'm going to show you an automated system that builds trust in potential clients before you ever actually talk to them. And I'm going to give you an exact script of what to say to potential clients and tell you how much to charge and how to take payments. Basically covering all of the logistics here. Now, the coaching. You're going to get weekly live coaching sessions with me over Zoom. And this is really with me, by the way, not with some member of my team or some hired gun. You're going to get face-to-face live support. I'll answer your questions. I'll be able to review your ads, review your pages, review your conversations with clients, etc., all over screen share, and keep you accountable and tell you exactly what to do if you get stuck. So that's the coaching. And then the community is a private members-only Telegram group. If you're not familiar with Telegram, it's just a messaging group similar to WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger, where you can ask questions and get support 24/7. You can get a second pair of eyes on your ads, get an accountability partner, network with other people that are on the same path as you, celebrate your wins, and have a shoulder to lean on when things don't go exactly as planned. So, to recap everything you get here, phase 1, the automated lead collection system. Phase 2, the YouTube ads engine. Phase 3, the client attraction machine, which make up your core training. And then you're going to get the coaching and the community, which are your support system. So let me ask you guys, how much would it be worth to you if you got just one client at $1,000 a month and the client stayed on for 12 months? That would be $12,000. If you got 5 clients, that would be $60,000. If you got 20,000 clients, that would be $240,000, almost $250,000 just this year alone with just 20 clients. Now, most live business coaching programs, like what I'm telling you about here, run from $5,000 to $10,000. I once spent $36,000 for a single coaching program, and it's totally worth it because I made far more money back as a result. So, if I was to let you join Ad Masters for $5,000, you'd more than double your investment with just one client. So, $5,000, if all this did was make you an extra $1,000 a month side income, would that be worth $5,000? If all this did was let you skip the traffic jams and work from home, would that be worth $5,000? If all this did was give you the freedom to wake up when you want and set your own schedule, would it be worth $5,000? Or if all this did was to just let you take a couple extra vacations with your family, if that's all it did, would that be worth $5,000? I think so. But even though $5,000 would be a more than fair price, I'm not even going to charge that much. For a few reasons. One, I want to make it so accessible that everyone who really wants to can afford it. And two, I don't want to have you go deep into debt like I did. Even though it was totally worth it and I don't regret it at all, it's still kind of scary. It wasn't fun at the time, so I don't wish that on anybody. 3, I want fast success stories. And 4, I want to help people break free of corporations and governments that take us for granted and treat us like garbage, like my data analyst student that I told you about in the beginning. So for that reason, I'm willing to let you in for a much more accessible price if you agree to one thing. You agree that when you get your first payment from a client, you will send me a message in the community, which is the private group, and let me know. And give me permission to screenshot your message and use it for my future marketing. And I'll black out your name so you won't have a bunch of strange people messaging you, don't worry. So if you agree to that, if that's okay with you, you can secure your seat now for just $100 per week. Just go to www.dominate.biz/addmasters. I'll type that in real quick. Now, the entire program is 8 weeks long, though you may choose to stay longer if you want to keep getting live support. It's really up to you. But there is no contract, so you can leave whenever you want. And if you sign up today, you will always also get these bonuses. Bonus number 1 is my Easy AI video workshop. I'm going to walk you through step by step exactly how to turn an ad script into a high-performing ad video without recording anything, just using AI tools. And the first time I tried this, I did one of my normal ads where I'm just talking to the camera, and then I used exactly the same ad script, but did it this way, just the AI generated, so I wasn't recording myself, it's just the AI generated video. The AI one performed better than the one with me talking. So I don't know if I should be offended by that or what, but basically the message is more important than who is saying the message. So if it's me or if it's some faceless AI thing, it really doesn't make a huge difference. So that's a $300 value by itself. That's included for free. You're going to get the second bonus, which is my best ads swipe file. So I'm going to give you all my best performing ads of all time that have made me hundreds of thousands of dollars for you to copy and model for yourself and your clients. That's a $1,000 value. I'm also going to give you another bonus, my copy and paste lead funnel. So not only am I going to teach you how to set up the landing page and automation to collect leads, I'm also going to give you my lead collection system that you can just copy and paste into your business or into your clients' businesses. This is worth $5,000 by itself. If you want to get somebody with proven results to build you a funnel, to build you a lead collection web funnel, they're going to charge you $5,000 at least, probably a lot more than that. So I'm not just making up that number. And then I'm also going to give you my actual client magnet. I'm going to give you the lead magnet that I'm using right now to get business owners lining up to work with me that you can copy and model to get clients for yourself, which is an $800 value. Now you will have to modify it just a tiny bit because I have my information in there and you're probably going to want to put your information. But yeah, other than that, like a tiny bit of modification, you can just run with that yourself if you want. And I'm going to give you free admission to all my live workshops. So every month, or used to be every month, now it's not quite that often, but every once in a while, I host a workshop where I go deep on one topic live with my community members, and you get to join every workshop for free as long as you're a member. And you get the recordings of any workshops as well. This is a value of $100 to $300 per month. That's how much I sell it to outsiders that are not part of the community. So let me recap everything that you're going to get here. Phase 1, the automated lead collection system. Phase 2, the YouTube ads engine. Phase 3 is the client attraction machine. So this is everything that you need to build this business. Then you're going to get the coaching. This is live personal coaching from me once a week. You're going to get the community, which is our private group. You're going to get the first bonus, the Easy AI Video Workshop, which will show you how to set up AI videos so that you never have to record yourself if you don't want to. I'm going to give you my best ad swipe file so you can have my best performing ads of all time that you can model and copy. I'm going to give you my copy and paste lead funnel that you can just pull directly into your business and just change the wording. I'm going to give you my actual client magnet. This is the lead magnet that I use for my clients right now and works very, very well. I'm going to give that to you, and I'm going to give you free admission to all future live workshops. So everything together is a value of $12,500. Now you may be wondering if there's a guarantee. The answer is sort of. You might have seen things before that said things like, try this, and if it doesn't work for you, we'll refund your money. I was tempted to do that because it does increase sales. Like everybody who does that, they get more sales. But the problem is it gives you a totally wrong impression. Because the truth is, it's not a matter of it worked or it didn't work. With any business, you are almost definitely going to run into obstacles along the way. And notice I'm not trying to BS you and say, oh, it's easy and everything's going to be perfect. And no, you're going to run into obstacles along the way. Any business that you try to start, you're going to run into obstacles. And if you've ever read any story or any biography of any person who has succeeded in business ever in the history of the world, they will have run into obstacles along the way. That's just part of the process. I'm making it as easy for you as I possibly can. I'm showing you all the obstacles I ran into so you don't have to run into them, but that doesn't mean that you're not going to run into obstacles, right? So you're going to run into obstacles. That's just the truth of the matter. The first ad that you run may not get results, right? And so the sort of people who throw up their hands and say it didn't work are doomed to fail. The people who succeed are the ones who analyze what they did, figure out why it didn't work, change it a little bit, and then try again. And I show you my process for this in great detail, by the way, in Ad Masters. So if I was to talk about this in terms of, oh, it worked or it didn't work, I would literally be setting you up to fail because it doesn't work that way. I know this process works, and it works very well. I'm living it every day. And I think I've proven to you beyond any reasonable doubt that this is true. I also know that Ad Masters is an absolutely killer program with nothing held back. But you don't know that yet, and I understand that. You may be skeptical, and rightly so, because there's a lot of people out there that are pushing crap. So this is what I'll do for you. First of all, like I said, there is zero contract. You can leave whenever you want. And obviously, I want to make you happy because if you're happy, then you'll stay longer. And also, I offer a 1-week trial period. That is, if any time within 7 days of joining, you decide that it's not for you, for whatever reason, doesn't matter, you can leave and I will refund you in full. This gives you plenty of time to look around, join one of the calls, talk to the other people in the community if you want to, and see if you like it. If not, no worries at all. I will refund you in full, and I hope you find something that's a better fit. The only caveat is that you won't be able to join again for the next 12 months, just because I don't want people joining and leaving and joining and leaving and, trying to abuse the system, right? It's a headache for me. Now, I should let you know that there's a cap on how many people I let into Ad Masters at a time. I don't allow more than 50, which is unfortunate because I wish I could take everybody, but because this is live coaching, I can't take any more people than that or the quality starts to suffer. Like I said, I'm doing all the coaching myself. I don't have hired coaches or anything, so I can only take so many people and be able to give everyone the attention that they need. So admission will be closed when it reaches 50. When you click on the link, not the button. When you click the link, if you see an order form, it means that there's still spots available. If the spots are all taken, it'll take you to the waitlist page, which you can sign up and and I'll let you know the next time there's a spot available. So Ad Masters is for you if you want to be your own boss and have the freedom to set your own schedule, or if you want to be able to work from anywhere as long as you have a laptop and a Wi-Fi connection. This is for you if you like your job and you want to keep your job, but you just want some extra side income. This is for you if you like to semi-retire and work part-time on your own terms, or if you don't want to gamble your future on an unpredictable job market that could fire you at any time if you don't get the medicines that they want you to get. This is for you if you've tried starting an SMMA or something similar before but had a hard time making any real money. This is for you if you've always wanted to be an entrepreneur but haven't found the right path to take. This is every step to do that. This is also great if you're completely new to online marketing because we're starting from absolute scratch here. And this is for you if you're already an established business owner or marketer and you want a better way to drive sales in your own business. And this is also good if you're looking for a high-value skill set to get a high-paying job. Because look, even the big companies need marketers. They need people to bring in the sales for them. So getting a better job was not what my intention was in creating this. But if that's what you're into, then this will help you in that regard as well. Now, what you don't need here is an existing YouTube channel. You don't need to have like a YouTube following or anything. You don't have to have any kind of advertising or marketing experience. Although if you do, then it certainly doesn't hurt. You don't have to be a slick talker. You don't even have to record yourself if you do the AI method I talked about before. You don't need a fancy camera or studio setup. And again, you don't even need to record yourself at all if you don't want. You don't need video editing skills. I'm going to show you exactly how to edit the videos, and it takes like half an hour to learn. It's very simple. You don't have to have any kind of web design or tech skills. Again, I'm going to show you how to do everything, and it's all drag and drop, copy and paste. It's dead simple. You don't need to have your own business at this point if you don't want to. You don't have to have a website. Basically, I'm going to show you how to do everything from A to Z. The only things that you do need are a computer, right? You can't do this off a phone. You really need a computer. You have to have basic computer skills, like you have to be able to browse the web, send emails. And I used to take that for granted, by the way, but then I got one client who didn't know how to use email, and it was kind of impossible for me to communicate with that person. So now I offer that as a disclaimer. You have to be willing to learn, obviously, and you have to be willing to make mistakes and learn from those mistakes, right? If you're the kind of person that makes a mistake and then all of a sudden, oh, it doesn't work, I'm going to throw up my hands and just give up, well, then you're just not going to be successful. So you got to be willing to make mistakes and learn from those mistakes. And you got to be willing to reach out and communicate with me if you get stuck. Look, I don't know if you get stuck. I don't know what situation you are in unless you tell me. I am here to help you, so please reach out and communicate with me because I want you to be successful at this. Your success is my success. And finally, you need at least 1 hour a week that you can dedicate to this. Now, AdMasters is perfect for people with full-time jobs, people with part-time jobs, students, stay-at-home moms, retirees, people who want to retire, and anyone else who values financial independence and the freedom and flexibility that comes with having an online business and is willing to put in just a little bit of time and effort to make it happen. So if that sounds like you, you can secure your seat now for just $100 a week. Go to dominate.biz/admasters. Again, there is zero contract. You can stop at any time. And the first week is a trial period, so if you're not satisfied for whatever reason in the first week, just let me know and I will refund you in full. So, recap of everything you get here. Phase 1, the automated lead collection system. Phase 2, the YouTube ads engine. Phase 3, the client attraction machine. You're going to get the personal coaching with me. You're going to get the community, the private group that is. You're going to get the first bonus, Easy AI Video Workshop. The second bonus, my best ad swipe file. You're going to get my copy and paste lead funnel, my actual client magnet, and free admission to all live workshops. This total value of $12,500. Today is just $100 per week. Go to dominate.biz/admasters to secure your seat. And just in case that wasn't enough, I want to give you yet another extra bonus. So I already told you that if you sign up, I want to hear your success stories. The truth is, I really, really, really want to hear your success stories. It's really important to me for two reasons. Number one is it feels really good to see my students succeed. Escaping from corporate slavery, living their dream life, being an inspiration to their family and those around them, and to know that I help them make that happen, seriously, it's one of the best feelings in the world. But I don't know unless you tell me. And then the second reason is that it's great for my marketing. When I share your success story with others, it helps them to believe that they can do it too. So when you share your success story, it helps me, plus a lot of other people. So here's what I'm going to do for you. When you get your first payment from a client, make a screenshot of the payment, or take a picture if it's a paper check, and share it in the private group. When you do this, I will send you $200 via PayPal, Zelle, or Bitcoin, whichever you prefer. I'll just send you money. I will bribe you for your success story. So here's everything you get here. Phase 1 is the automated lead collection system. Phase 2, YouTube ads engine. Phase 3, the client attraction machine. So this is all of the lessons, every step-by-step process you need to build out this business. You're going to get personal coaching with me, private group, which is the community, the easy AI video workshop, which is I'm going to show you how to create videos using AI so you never have to record yourself at all if you don't want to. I'm going to give you my best ad swipe file so you see my best performing ads that you have as a model to work off of. I'm going to give you my lead funnel that you can copy and paste into your business. I'm going to give you my actual client magnet that you can either use as a model to work off of, or you can just steal it and use it for yourself. I won't be mad. And I'm going to give you free admission to all live workshops. And then when you send me your success story, which is really just a screenshot telling me about your first client payment, I will send you $200 in cash. So this is a total value of $12,500, $12,700 when I send you the $200 for the success story. Today, just $100 a week. If you're interested, go to dominate.biz/admasters. When you go to that site, you'll see something that looks like this. You'll see everything that you get. You see the price there. I forgot to add the $200 success story bonus. You'll get that as well. It's something kind of added at the last minute. And then you'll enter your first name, enter your last name, put your email, put your billing address. That's the address that's associated with whatever credit or debit card you want to use. Put your city, postal code or zip code, your country, your state or province. And then if you want to pay with a credit or debit card, just put your credit card number, your card number in there, put your expiration date here, your CVV number here, which is the 3 digits that's usually on the back of the credit card, or 4 digits if it's American Express, and hit submit payment. Or if you want to pay with PayPal, just click on PayPal and then it'll bring you through the directions there. Now, once you do that, you will see a screen that looks like this. It says, congratulations, you're in. And then you'll get an email with all of your materials and next steps. If you do not get that email for whatever reason, just send me a message at chris@dominatethemarketplace.net and I'll make sure you get taken care of. So everything you get here, one more time. Phase 1, the automated lead collection system. Phase 2, the YouTube ads engine. Phase 3, the client attraction machine. You're going to get personal coaching directly from me. You're going to get the community, which is the private group. You're going to get the easy AI video workshop, my best ads swipe file, my copy and paste lead funnel that you can just copy and paste into your business, my actual client magnet, free admission to all live workshops, and $200 cash when you send me your first success story, when you get your first payment from a client. So $12,500 value today, just $100 a week. Go to dominate.biz/admasters to get it right now. Now, a lot of people say that money is evil, or a lot of people think, even if they don't say that, they think that money is evil, and they're a lot of the reason that people sabotage themselves in getting money, even though they want money, is that they think it's bad. They've been brainwashed to believe that it's bad. And some people got it from, they twisted the meaning of a Bible verse where Jesus says that the love of money is the root of all evil.
And a lot of people say, no, it's money is the root of all evil. And it's not money, it's the love of money. And then what that all means is not every evil. It's just like all sorts of evil, all kinds of evil, right? Because obviously there's other things that cause people to be evil. There's pride and there's lust and there's all sorts of things that cause people to be evil. So people will do evil things for money, so like all sorts of evil things for money. But you don't have to, right? You can do a lot of good things with money. You can give money to charity. You can bless your family with money. You can buy nice stuff for yourself with money. In fact, I think that it's kind of, I almost wonder if there's some sort of brainwashing that like good people don't want to get money because they think that it's bad. And so, well, what ends up happening? Well, then the bad people have all the money, and thus the bad people have all the power. Can you imagine, like, if all the good people in the world had more money, how much better the world would be as a result? Right? Money is not evil. Money is just a means of exchange. Money is a good thing. Money is what you use to buy stuff for yourself and the people that you care about. Right? So if people would have a healthier view of money, then they'd stop shooting themselves in the foot when they had an opportunity to get more of it. And of course, you know, your $100 is not going to change my life. I'm still going to live exactly the same lifestyle as I was before, but it may well change your life. Now, have you ever seen this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad? I highly recommend it if you never read it, but by the way, it's like the most famous financial book ever. And one of the key teachings is that rich people, or people that are to become rich, invest in assets, right? They invest in education, they invest in real estate, they invest in stocks, etc. Whereas poor people spend their money on things that are not going to make them money, like clothes and phones and TVs. Right? So if you want to switch from poor to rich, one of the main things you got to do is take money away from the things that you were spending on that don't make you any richer, like the clothing and the TVs, and you spend that money instead on things that do make you richer. Spend that money on things that will raise your skills and make you more valuable in the marketplace and pay off thousands of times over your lifetime. Now, you can make money or you can make excuses. It's your choice. People who make money don't make excuses, and people who make excuses don't make money. Today, you have a choice. You can do what you've always done and get what you've always gotten, or you can make a change, right? We always have that choice, and most people just keep going with the old habits forever and ever and ever because that's what's comfortable, even though they know that if they were to change their behavior, that's what would change their results in life. And you can build something great, but chances are you need help. I mean, I had help. I had mentors. I had coaches. I don't know of anyone that was successful that didn't have some help along the way. You don't have to go it alone. In fact, if you do try to go it alone, you're probably never going to get there. And you're just going to be reinventing the wheel or trying to reinvent the wheel over and over and over again. And the people that have the humility to accept help from the people that are further along than them are going to be the people that just blow past you. Now, people say that time is money, but I think that time is quite a lot more valuable than money. Because if you waste all your money, then you can get all that money back. But if you lose all of your time, you will never get that time back. So if you miss watching your child make the game-winning goal, you're never going to get that moment back. Right? So I want to teach you something that can make you a lot more wealthy in a lot less time. And as Zig Ziglar said, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. A lot of people end up on their deathbed with all sorts of regrets because they said someday, and they never said now. A lot of people think, oh, I'm not good at business, or I don't have the talent for that, when they don't realize that nobody is born with the talent for that. It's something that you get, it's something you acquire, it's something that you learn. You have to suck for long enough that you don't suck anymore, right? You have to be willing to be bad at something for long enough that you get good at the thing. That's the only way that it works. So anyway, I think I told you this was the last one was the last one. I thought it was. But here's everything that you get. If you're interested, you go to dominate.biz/admasters. And if there are any questions, I will go ahead and take them now. So feel free to go ahead and write in the chat if you have any questions, and I will answer them for you. Rest my voice a little bit too. Talking for an hour and a half straight is it's a lot of strain on the voice. Anybody got any questions, go ahead and write them in the chat. I'll give folks just a couple of minutes here, and if nothing, then I will go ahead and finish. Steven says, how can I decide what type of business to start with this program? Helping businesses run ads, for example. Yeah, that's a great question. And I do go over that in the program. But the short answer is whatever business is the most accessible to start practicing with. So if you know somebody that's a chiropractor, for example, then just talk to that person, ask if you can run some ads for him for free. And then once you get some results, well, now you can talk to other chiropractors. Or if you know somebody that's a electrician, then you can run it for an electrician. If you know somebody that has an online coaching program, then you can run it for that. So yeah, good question. If you don't know anybody that has a business, then you can just choose one that you think that you know something about. Maybe it's a business that you have some familiarity with, or that you have some training in, or maybe you know, like you go into the chiropractor every once in a while, and just it really doesn't matter a whole lot, actually. Because every business needs this, essentially. Any more questions, go ahead and write them in the chat. I will stay as long as people have questions. Or if not, I will probably go and do something lazy, like sit on the couch and watch TV. Well, I'll wait one more minute. If anybody has questions, go right ahead. And if not, then I will end in 1 minute. Are there examples ads to see this in action? Yes, absolutely. That is my best ad swipe file. The bonus is several of my best performing ads ever that you can use as examples. Because that does make things a lot easier. It's like when you're doing a puzzle and you have the you can see the picture on the box. Like, it's so much easier because you know what the final product looks like. So yeah, I've done everything I could to make this as easy as possible for you. So that's one of the things that's included, is several of my best performing finished ads. Any more questions? Go ahead. I will stay as long as you guys still have questions. But if not, I will leave at 9:28 Eastern Time. I'm in Florida, so it is 9:26. And either way, by the way, guys, like if you decide to join me in the program or not, I really it's totally a matter of if it's right for you. I'm like not the kind that's like, oh, everybody should do this. Like, no, if you know if it's right for you or if it's not right for you, I totally trust your judgment on that. As long as it's not just something like oh, I'm nervous, I'm gonna put it off until later. Like that obviously that doesn't end well. But for someone who's like, no, this is just not the right kind of business for me, and that's totally cool. It's totally not right for everybody. But for everybody who it is right for, like, definitely take action on it, because this is really a one-time opportunity that you're probably never going to see again. So this, but either way, like, if you don't go for it, I'm totally not mad at you. And in fact, I really appreciate you for being willing to hang out here and listen to me. So I appreciate you hearing me out. Okay, well, it is 9:27, so I'm going to sign off. But again, guys, for everybody that joined Ad Masters, I'm looking forward to working with you. And for everybody that decided against it, that's totally cool. And thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you again sometime soon. Good night, everybody.